Hi guys, my name is Jonathan and today I'll be doing an unboxing on my brand new Tripp-Lite network rack enclosure. The specific model of this enclosure is a SRW12UG. This provides 12U of device space and it can accommodate about 16.5 inches of depth of devices. I'm very excited about this specific component because I am building an enterprise network system out of my home and I'll be putting this in the master bedroom. I'll be having a bunch of Ethernet cables running to it from all over the house with a patch panel, along with a bunch of devices such as a UPS, Ethernet switch, a network attached storage or a rack mount network attached storage so I can access files from anywhere in the house and also remotely, and a bunch of other cool stuff that I want to show you guys in the next videos that are coming up. So without further ado, let's get started with the unboxing. Alright guys, let's open her up. So I got this on Amazon for about, it was $349 plus tax, shipped to my home. And it was on sale. It usually goes for at least $450 if I'm not mistaken. All right. So it looks like this is the top. Hope it wasn't damaged in shipping. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this out of the box. Side. Wow, this thing is a little bigger than I thought, but I did measure the dimensions inside the master bedroom closet, and based on my measurements it should be just fine. But wow, this thing is beautiful. So this is a wall mount network rack enclosure. So the back is going to be open because it's meant to be mounted on the wall. This way. Put these away. We'll leave this on for now. You know what? Let's take it out so you guys can see it in all its glory. So it does have a key, so you can lock it. Definitely don't want anyone going inside there that are unauthorized, especially with all the devices I'll be putting in here. My surveillance system, NVR, is actually going to be housed in here too. But man, that is beautiful. It comes with some paperwork, owner's manual. It's actually housed really nice. Let's see. So what made me go with TrippLite is, on first glance, I thought TrippLite was just some Chinese brand. Didn't really pay much attention to it. And then I came across that it's designed by Eaton, or it's an Eaton company. And Eaton, they make like high voltage, they're really no name in industrial electrical components such as switch gear, circuit breakers, breaker boxes, disconnects, all kinds of stuff. And you'll see it everywhere. And I'm an industrial mechanic, so I see it everywhere. And it's a very good brand. Growing up, so my dad was an electrical engineer and he works as an industrial electrician, and quite frankly he would sometimes bring home some components, the old components that they wouldn't use, that they were going to throw away, and a lot of that stuff was Eaton, and it's just a well-known brand. I think the top ones here in the United States is Eaton and Snyder. And what's crazy is Eaton makes UPSs, just just like that one, under TrippLite. And Schneider makes UPSs under the brand APC. So that's that. Go ahead and put that to the side. So wow, that is it. So it has ample ventilation, see on the side. It's also accessible through the sides. Let me, I'm not sure how you would open it. Oh, you'd have to open up the inside first. You'd flip this lock tab and it actually comes out. It doesn't swing out. I thought it was gonna swing out, but it actually comes out completely. And that way you can actually access through the side all the cables. And that comes in handy, especially when your everything is mounted up. That way you could plug something into the UPS or in the back of the switch. And what I really like about this is how we can actually adjust the depth. You can actually adjust, see how those square holes over there? I don't know if you guys can see that. You can adjust the depth. So if all of your devices doesn't use all the space and you want to push it back more for, let's say, you want your Ethernet cables, you know, from a patch panel to a switch, you wanted to have more of a radius and not be like pinched from the wall, but even though it doesn't look like it would be pinched, then you could always move it back. And that is a feature that I really like. I also like how it does have provisions for fans. I plan on butting this up to the left, so this won't be accessible, and butting it up to the ceiling. My home has 9-foot ceilings, so this would be still way out of the headspace in the closet. And I actually am thinking of, since I don't want the closet to heat up from all the components in here, I'm actually thinking of cutting into the ceiling and putting a duct that will actually pull cold air through the bottom, through all the components, collect the heat and pull it up and push it to the attic. The only downside that I am worried about is that we do have a whole house fan, and the way the whole house fan works is on the 3rd floor, on the ceiling, when you turn it on, it sucks all the air inside the house and just dumps it in the attic. And I am worried that if the power of that, the positive pressure in the attic, is more than the power of the fans here, that when that is on, it's actually gonna push air back in and it's gonna be dusty air, it's gonna be attic air. And you definitely don't want attic air and all that dust in there. So perhaps I'll consider making some sort of a contraption where when that house fan is off, that these fans are running. And when that house fan is on, which is usually momentarily, the fans will turn off and there will be a butterfly valve that will actually close them off so that air won't get backfed into this, because you definitely don't want that to happen. But had I not had a house fan that does that, then that probably would be the least of my worries. I'll just throw a duct into the attic and let it pull the hot air into the attic. I just don't want my closet to start getting hot because of all the devices. But like what I said, as I showed you, I do have a UPS, a TrippLite UPS, and a Netgear. Oh, the UPS is 2U, and a Netgear is a 1U, 26 port. And what I plan on doing is, on the bottom, I plan on having my UPS, and then I have a 1U switchboard or switch panel where I can actually physically switch all the components, including the router, and the, what do you call it? The switch, the network attached storage. And what I want to do on that switch panel is I want to actually mess with the insides and make it so that I get 2 power sources, in terms of one power source will be the power that is not under the backup battery, which that actually has an output for that, and also power that does have backup battery. So for instance, all 8 switches of that switch panel, 4 of them would be battery backup, the other 4 wouldn't be. The battery backup ones would obviously be the ones that would keep my network up, such as the switch, the network attached storage. You don't want, you know, a file server to just shut down abruptly. You want it to be able to save all its files and shut down correctly. And I'm pretty sure there's ways with, I believe there's USB or serial communications where you can actually have it set up where when the UPS loses power and it's on battery, that it will tell the components to do a proper shutdown. And that's the main thing I want to do. But anyways, the main plan is have a 2U UPS over here, 1U switch panel, I plan on having a patch panel, 24-port patch panel, the switch, another 24-port patch panel up there so that we can actually loop in. I'm planning on getting a 1U network attached storage, and then I'll have 2 U's for my NVR, because that NVR is going to have the actual NVR, which takes up about 1.5 U's, but I also have these adapters that convert HDMI to Ethernet, and I'm going to actually it's going to transmit HDMI signal through Ethernet cables through the 3 TVs in the home, so you have access to the surveillance system and you can see outside through any of the TVs in my home. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a walkthrough of the entire setup I plan on doing at the house, so you guys will be able to see that. But so far, I'm very happy with it, very pleased. Let's go and put it back together. And I like that, so it locks. In order for us to open this, we have to open the front, which has a key. Let's put this one on. And I believe the key should be in here. Let me go ahead and open that for you guys. So this is the hardware it comes with. It comes with these inserts that go on these square holes, and it's threaded. But what I also know is that inside of here, on this side, they're already pre-threaded holes. And I think I'm gonna go that route, because since these inserts can kind of dangle, I feel like it wouldn't be that sturdy of a, what do you call it? That sturdy of a mount. So you can actually twist this around, or you would actually put this over there, turn it, and put this one over here and turn it. And you could actually, I'm not sure if these bolts or these screws will be able to work with it if they're the same thread pattern, but even if they're not, I don't mind buying some. I just don't like the insert and then it dangle around. I like it when it's nice and solid. And my deepest device that I'll put in here is going to be that UPS, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about 13 inches. I should be able to push this back a little bit. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the key. This is the key. Once you lock it, put the key in, turn it, you can't open it anymore. To open it, put the key in, unlock it, and now you can turn it. Man, I'm excited. I'll be posting videos on the entire setup that I end up doing with this and where I'm gonna end up mounting this. So please guys, stay tuned. This is definitely not something you guys wanna miss. This is gonna be my first time building an enterprise network in my own home. I personally don't work in the industry, but I am computer savvy and I love anything technical. And this is one of the things that I've always wanted to do and always wanted to build. This is strictly for laboratory and experimental purposes. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you for watching.